20th anniversary this week of Sports Night.
Really?
20th
20
anniversary.
years ago.
Yeah.
Josh Charles and Peter Krause playing Dan Patrick and Keith Olbermann.
Kind of doing the Sports Center show on TV. That was a fun one.
Man, oh man. I remember Robert Guillaume played the boss of Sports Night. I've told this story, but I'll tell it again. When Sports Night went on the air, prior to it, Aaron Sorkin, who was the creator and writer of it, he came to Bristol and he sat down with a whole bunch of us Sports Center anchors and asked for our stories to be downloaded. So the famed Steve Levy bulging disc story made it onto Sports Night in a much more safe for work manner for them to tell that story.
Sure.
Also, the fact that the old Sports Center studio, one that I told, that I believe made it into a Sports Night, the old Sports Center studio used to be in in a very small-ish room.
Right.
I'll be honest with you, the size of this set was close to, it's about 70% size of what the Sports Center studio was. There used to be, Sports Center would be on one side. It's like a cube, all right? Across from the Sports Center side of the set was nothing, just the door that you'd walk in. To the right of the Sports Center set was the Baseball Tonight set.
Yeah.
And to the left was the set that Bob Lee used to sit on for the 6 o'clock Sports Center, a different desk from the Sports Center set, and we would call that the general store. Nice. Is what we would call that. And by the way, Bob Lee signed off for his 6-month sabbatical from Outside the Lines today. And I'm seeing a lot of people tweeting, wondering if he's retiring. No, he's taken a 6-month sabbatical to recharge his batteries, as he said. And that was planned, so it's not like he's surprised. People might not have heard that and they're surprised by it. But at any rate, so in that garage, when it rained really hard, water would leak through the ceiling. And I would be doing lead-ins on camera, and I would feel the droplets hitting the top of my head. And this is when I had a serious load of cabbage up top. So it would be like a steady drip. Told that to Aaron Sorkin. And I think that made it in. And I do remember that when we would get calls from press, ESPN would get calls from press for people to say, how is Sports Night similar to Sports Center or different? And PR people were saying, look, if you're going to speak to these reporters, there's just two things. You can't bash Sports Night. You can't say the show's not good. And I would never have done that because I really liked it. And two is you can't bash Bristol. Those were the two things they said. You can't bash both. So I'm like, I got the best idea. I'm like, what's the biggest difference? Playing off the fact of who Robert Guillaume played previously in his televisionography. I'm like, the biggest difference is we don't have Benson running around here telling us what to do. And that became a pull quote in the Los Angeles Times, which to this date is still one of my proudest achievements as a broadcaster.
Nice.
Yeah.
Well done. Well done.
Well, and plus two, I mean, look, they were in New York City. With glass encased offices. I had cubicles.
Right.
Prefabricated material
very
up
different.
there in central Connecticut. It was a fun show. It's good stuff.
Yeah, only 2 seasons, right?
You tell me. You've got the internet in front of you. I don't know. Is that just it? Two seasons and done?
I think I only did 2 seasons, yeah.
The Rich Eisen Show, weekdays at noon Eastern on Audience.